Alright, so the film Roma, it's been getting a lot of hype because it's very artsy and whatever. And I have just finished watching it. Surprisingly, I finished because after the first like 5 minutes, I was gonna turn it off. But because after like the first 3 minutes, I realized what kind of movie this was gonna be, and I'm like, oh God, I know I'm in for it. But anyways, I sat through the entire film, and I understand the hype because it's beautiful. The cinematography is great. And film nerds obviously will be talking about, oh, look how beautiful it is. Alfonso Cuarón is a genius. Blah blah blah. Right? Okay. True. Alfonso Cuarón is a genius, and in my opinion, Alfonso Cuarón has everything a filmmaker should have, but he's missing one crucial element. That is the ability to tell a story, or the ability to control the plot in a way that is interesting and engaging. See, when you make a film, you have to realize that as a director, your job is not only to make things look great, but also to make sure that it flows evenly, it stays interesting, and all the elements combine together for let me change that. The parts, you have to make the parts bigger. How does that saying go again? You have to make the whole bigger than the sum of its parts when you're a filmmaker. And with Alfonso Cuarón, he can't do that. Um, you can see the parts, but the whole is never bigger than the sum of its parts. Um, like I said before, what I thought about the film, it was okay. It was long, and like I said, uh, the storytelling was average, and this is coming from someone who writes fiction. I can tell you the storytelling is subpar in this film. Um, but it's I don't think it's Alfonso Cuarón's fault. And he didn't win Best Picture, and he shouldn't have, because, like I said, he's missing that one element of being a filmmaker, which is to combine plot, style, cinematography, combine them all together, so the movie works. With this movie, he couldn't take the plot and everything else about the film and make it engaging. It looks beautiful, but you can't. He's not a cinematographer, he's a director. He has to realize this. He's directing a film. Yes, it's beautiful, and yes, I guess he's a cinematographer also, in a way, but somebody needs to steer the ship. And it felt like the ship was sailing too slowly, and it didn't have enough rocky moments on the cruise. It was stayed very still, and that's Alfonso Cuarón's fault. Because he's the director and he's supposed to be guiding the ship. So no, he doesn't deserve to win Best Picture, even though a lot of you say he will, because I don't know why you would say that, but I don't know why everybody is saying that this movie should win, because it shouldn't. But anyway, so yeah, that's my thought on Roma. Out of 4 stars, it's hard. Because everything is great except the plot, and the plot is really the main focus of a film. Film and, let's say, like written fiction are two different things. Okay, but both tell stories. Okay, so with film is a visual medium to tell stories. Literature is a written form to tell stories, and but just because a film is a visual means to tell a story, there still has to be a story there that's interesting to tell. And so he has all the technical aspects of the film correct. He just can't understand how a plot is supposed to work. And this is another thing that he doesn't understand. There are some shots in the movie that just go on for just too long. I realized this during the first 3 minutes where we see like the soap over the concrete for like 3 minutes. It's like, oh my god, I almost fell asleep during the first 5 minutes. I'm like, I know what kind of movie this is gonna be from the first 5 minutes. Some shots are just too long. Like with Cleo sitting in a movie theater, like just watching the film by herself. It's like, and that goes on for like a minute. And like, what for? The movie's already slow, and you're already dragging these scenes on for so long, and like, it's just crazy. But the film is already too long, and he's still dragging these scenes out longer than they should be. Um, so in terms of editing, he definitely shouldn't have won the Oscar for best editing because it wasn't edited good at all. Um, but yeah, those are my thoughts. I didn't grade this yet. Out of four, some of you may be mad at this, but I'm giving it 2.5 stars out of 4 stars because that's what it deserves. And you can argue with me. You could say, "Oh, this is 4 stars. Look how beautiful it is." Blah blah blah. But trust, it's 2.5. Okay, so stop all of this hype and Alfonso Cuarón best movie ever nonsense. Okay. So, yeah. So I already explained to you why it's 2.5, and some of you will probably say, "Oh, I wasn't bored. It was good. I look how beautiful it was. It was like, oh, it wasn't boring at all." But it was. Okay, let's just I'll be honest with each other. It's slow. The plot is tedious. Alfonso Cuarón doesn't understand the flow, how a movie should flow. You know, there's something called the narrative drive, which means how a movie should flow, how scenes should unfold in a movie, how to keep the audience engaged throughout the entire time. And as a filmmaker, he doesn't understand that. He just knows cinematography and style and these types of things. But he he shouldn't have had he shouldn't should have let someone else wrote the screenplay. He shouldn't have wrote it himself because he's not a good storyteller. So if he wouldn't, if I'm, okay, here's what I'm gonna say. If Alfonso Cuarón would have hired someone to write the script for him, someone else, like just put him out of the whole thing. I don't remember if he had help or not. I gotta check IMDb again. But if he would have just stayed out of the script business and just hired a really good writer to write it for him, he wouldn't. He, no doubt in my mind, he would have won best picture. So some of you are wondering why this movie didn't win best picture. Is because of the writing. Okay, so he should have hired a much better writer to write the script for him. Um, so I understand it's a true story that those are his memories, but the problem with true stories is that you have to tweak them because let's be honest, real life is kind of boring, right? I mean, a person's life, yes, is eventful, but at the same time is ordinary. Like you have to learn how to take ordinary life and twist the events around to make it interesting and engaging, and he doesn't know how to do that. So that's why he didn't win Best Picture is because of the writing. The script wasn't written well. Um, well, yeah, a lot of scenes were just strange but yeah. So those are my thoughts on the film. I gave you the reason why I didn't win Best Picture, and I gave you the reason why it's only worth 2.5 out of 4 stars. And this is the truth. Let's just be honest with each other here, okay? Nobody's looking at Roma and saying, "Oh, that film was written so well. What a great screenplay. Oh, Alfonso Cuarón is a great writer." Look, no, he isn't. Nobody's saying this, okay? nobody's saying that this is such a great screenplay. Nobody says this. But like I said, I told you the truth about Roma. All the hype about it, I don't understand. I am kind of a film nerd, and I am a writer. I write fiction, short stories, and I attempt to write screenplays too. And I have some learning experience. I took some classes, and I have some experience with writing fiction. So you know, and that's just the truth about Roma. So, um, but anyways, those are my thoughts. I'm glad that Green Book won because I'm not sure if I'm that happy that um Green Book won, but I am happy that Roma didn't win. I was just hoping that Roma would not win because it doesn't deserve to win. So I was just praying that let it be any movie but Roma because that movie does not deserve to win Best Picture. And I'm so happy it didn't win. Okay, so I'm happy about that, and I know I'm rambling on here, but yeah. So my review of Roma, I didn't really get into the nitty gritty details about Roma. I just gave you a real general review about it. I'm not really gonna get in real technical about it because there's really no need to. You know, I think, you know, there's not really any need to go into the technical aspects, even though I could. It was shot beautifully. I like the black and white. I think what do they call it? The chrome something, and it looked very nice. And the scenes were shot very good. The camera work was great. I like how the camera a lot of the time focus is like in the background and like we're watching the film like as an observer, like watching everything happen. I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, so I mean that's as far as I'm gonna go with the technical aspects of the movie. So there you have it. There's my review. I gave you the reason why it didn't win Best Picture, and I gave you the reason why it's only worth 2.5 out of 4 stars, and that's just the truth. And yeah, so that's it. I don't know when I'm gonna do another review. I wanted to review Roma just because it's been hyped so much, and I just want to like express a different opinion about it because everybody's going over all Google Gaga over this fucking movie. So I just had to just go tell my review and stir up the pot, put something different out there. Um, because everybody's saying the same thing. And so I just wanted to say something different. This is my true opinion, by the way, what I think about this movie. Yeah, so that's it. I don't know when I'm going to do another review. But please subscribe to the channel and yeah, and wait for my next one. All right, peace.